everybody. Mrs. Buckley once again. We're going to continue working on equations today, but today I want to talk about equations that have fraction coefficients. So what's a coefficient? Let's look at a few terms. If I had 3n or 3 or 5 plus k, when a number is being multiplied by a variable, that is the coefficient. So in this case, the 3 is the coefficient. The 3 is not a coefficient here. We call it a constant. So this is a tricky one. Is 5 the coefficient? No, because it's being added to k instead of multiplied by k. Remember how we've sometimes talked about that invisible coefficient of 1? So if you have a variable with no letter in front of it, its coefficient is always 1. So on our samples today, we're talking about solving equations that have fraction coefficients. And the way we deal with this is by multiplying by the reciprocal of the coefficient. So you've heard me say the word refliprical instead of reciprocal because it's a fun way to remember what it means. So I'm going to solve this equation right here. 3/4 m equals 18. So I am multiplying both sides by the reciprocal, the refliprical of the coefficient, the number in front of the variable. So the reciprocal is 4/3. Those cancel on this side. I'm multiplying by 4/3 over here. And lots of students like to put a 1 under here. That's great if that's helpful to you. So when we multiply these fractions together, it's straight across. So 18 times 4 is 72 over 1 times 3 is 3, which equals 24. And again, I am so fine with you using a calculator on this. All right, let's look at number 2. So again, we have a fraction coefficient. We're going to use the refliprical, the reciprocal, and multiply both sides to solve for k. So I'm drawing my line down. I am going to multiply by the reciprocal of 2/5. So I'm just flipping that. So we're multiplying both sides by 5/2. Those will cancel. That's why we did it. And so k will equal 22/1 times 5/2. So 22 times 5, that's 110. 1 times 2 is 2. And 110 divided by 2 is 55. All right, let's try sample number 3. Exact same thing. I'm going to draw my line down. I hope I left myself enough room to work there. I'm multiplying by the reciprocal, the refliprical of the coefficient. Those cancel. We ditch those fractions there. And we're left with 7/1 times 8/1, which is 56/1, or simply 56. All right, 2 more and then we're done. Line straight down. We're on sample number 4 now. Just a reminder, you're writing everything that I'm writing exactly the way that I'm doing it. Don't want you to forget. Okay, so now we have a 2-step equation that contains a fraction coefficient. So the great thing about 2-step equations is no matter what your coefficient is, you're always going to start by getting rid of the constant. So that's a positive 5. So we will subtract 5 from both sides. And we're left with 5/6 w equals 25. Okay, you ready? We're going to multiply by the reciprocal now. So times 6/5 times 6/5. Those guys are gone. We can put that guy over 1. And we are left with 25 times 6, that is 150. 1 times 5 is 5. And 150 divided by 5 is 30. All right, last one, sample number 5. I'm going to draw my line down. There's something about this from yesterday. Yep, we're going to box in our subtraction. Okay. Doesn't matter so much in this problem, but if you're in the habit of doing it all the time, then you won't forget to do it when you need to do it. So here we go. We've got -1, so we're adding 1 to both sides. We are left with -7/8 f equals. So -43 plus 1, you're on the number line at -43. You're going to the right 1 unit, and you're left at -42. Alrighty, so see the negative sign? That is part of the coefficient. So when we multiply by the reciprocal, it's got to take that negative sign along with it. So over here, it's also -8/7. Those cancel. That guy's a 1. So f equals, that looks so messy, doesn't it? Let's get rid of a couple of things here. First of all, we have a negative fraction being multiplied by another negative fraction. That answer will be positive. Negative times a negative, always positive. So we don't even need to worry about those signs. You can just forget about them. So now I'm ready to multiply. And let's see. 42 times 8 is 336/7. Right? I just multiplied the 42 times the 8. I'm ignoring the negative signs because I knew my answer would be positive. And then I did my 1 times 7 to get the denominator. And I am left with, ta-da, f equals 48. So these are some great samples for you kids. I'm expecting great things from you today. You've got 3 independent problems to do, and each of the independent problems looks exactly like one of the samples that we just did. So keep your samples close at hand. You're going to multiply by the reciprocal of the coefficient. You might have another way. We're not practicing your other way. We are not converting these to decimals. We are not doing any type of other strategy. We are simply multiplying by the reciprocal of the coefficient. So make sure you show me all your work. I'll be looking forward to seeing it. Please do drop me an email if you're having any trouble with this, and we can always work on it together. All right, kids, take care. Bye-bye.